Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 15, the killing of Dhenuka, the ass demon.
Which time?
What?
Should I translate?
It's up to you. You're the boss. I'm just a servant. Okay, good job. Okay, text 26 today. I'm not going to do the word for word, just because we're running a little late, and as you can see, I got a lot of material to cover here. We'll just get into the responsive recitation. Prayachatani na Krishna Ganda lobita chetasam Panchasti Mahati Rama Gamyatam Yadirochate Prayachatani na Krishna Ganda lobita chetasam Panchasti Mahati Rama Gamyatam Yadirochate. Please chant. Vaishnavis? Ganda lobita chetasam Vanchasti Mahati Rama Amyatam Yadirochate. Let's just go right into the translation. Okay. O Krishna, please get those fruits for us. Our minds are so attracted by their aroma. Dear Balaram, our desire to have those fruits is very great. If you think it's a good idea, let's go to that Tala forest. Want the translation?
Перевод. О Кришна, пожалуйста, достань нам эти плоды, наши умные ароматы. Дорогой Баларама, мы так сильно хотим их отведать. Если это вам по душе, давайте поскорее отправимся в лес.
Purport. Although neither man, nor bird, nor beast could even approach the Tala forest, the cowherd boys had so much faith in Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram that they took it for granted the two lords could effortlessly kill the sinful ass demons and acquire the delicious tal fruits. Lord Krishna's Cowherd boyfriends are exalted, self-realized souls who could not ordinarily become greedy for sweet fruits. In fact, they're simply joking with the Lord and enthusing his pastimes, urging him to perform unprecedented historic feats in the tall forest. Innumerable demons disturbed the sublime atmosphere of Vrindavan during Lord Krishna's presence there, and the Lord would kill such demons as a popular daily event. Like we got our Bhagavatam classes, and let's see, I better wait. Okay, since Lord Krishna had already killed many demons on this particular day, he decided to give first honors to Lord Balaram, who would demolish the first demon, Dhenuka. By the words Yadi Rochate, the cowherd boys indicate that Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram need not kill the demons simply to satisfy them. They should do so only if the lords themselves found the concept appealing.
Комментарий. Несмотря на то, что ни люди, ни звери, ни птицы не могли даже приблизиться к Талавану, мальчики так сильно верили в Господа Кришну и Баларама, что нисколько не сомневались, что два брата без особых усилий расстаются с грешниками и ослами демонами и добудут вкусные плоды с деревьев Тала. Все друзья Господа Кришны — это чистые, сознавшиеся души, потому примитивная жадность и желание поесть сладких плодов не могли овладеть ими. На самом деле они просто шутили с Господом, побуждая его к новым невиданным ранее подвигам, на этот раз в лесу Тала. Когда Кришна жил во Вриндаване, блаженную атмосферу этих мест постоянно нарушали многочисленные демоны, и расправа с ними превратилась для Господа в повседневную обязанность. Поскольку Господь Кришна уже уничтожил множество демонов, в тот день он решил оставить главной победителя Господу Балараме, позволив ему расправиться с демонами. Словами Яди Рочаты пастушки указывают на то, что Кришна и Баларама могут и не убивать этих демонов, если им не хочется. Но если предложение пастушков показалось им заманчивым, то их друзья будут только рады.
Hare Krishna. Did we do Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya yet? I think I skipped it, didn't I? No. Did I say it?
No.
Raja Gun, Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Yeah, the reason I'm a little late because I worked really hard to get a copy to share with Atmatafa Prabhu, because he would really be mad at me if I didn't do that, because there's a lot of shlokas here.
И причина, почему я опоздал, потому что готовил для переводчика, потому что там очень много цитат, и он меня проклял, если бы я его это не дал.
I think it's a good way to start the class. We did it the last time. And just to keep everybody awake. You know, by the end of the class, I'm really hoping that all of you will be inspired to go out of your minds.
И вот хороший способ начать лекцию, мы уже практиковали это в прошлый раз, что я надеюсь, что к концу класса вы сможете сойти с ума.
If you may remember from the last class, this last couple classes, no, actually I did that with the Sunday lecture, and then I did it in the English Bhagavatam. The going out of your mind in American English means going, ooh, crazy.
И как вы помните, как мы говорили вот на прошлом классе и позапрошлом классе на английском, то, что в американском английском слово вот это «сойти с ума», оно значит «стать сумасшедшим». In Russian it's the same meaning.
What's that?
In Russian it's the same meaning.
Oh!
Yes, we're going to go crazy.
Good, okay. All right. I wonder if there's a Sanskrit origin of going out of the mind, you know?
Было бы интересно санскритский не аналог, а санскритский корень этого найти.
Okay, so if you do go out of your mind, don't worry. We've got really good psychiatrists available. I said if you go out of your mind, don't worry, because we've got really good psychiatrists available.
Не волнуйтесь, если сойдете с ума, у нас есть очень хорошие психологи.
Okay, we're starting things out with some good old-time American humor here.
Начали со старого доброго американского юмора.
It's really nice how in the end of the first paragraph of the purport, it's where am I? Oh, okay. It's a long sentence, boy. Actually, the whole paragraph is one sentence. No. In fact, they're simply joking with the Lord and enthusing his pastimes, urging him to perform unprecedented historic feats in the Tala forest. Oh, actually, okay, now here's the last sentence. Innumerable demons disturbed the sublime atmosphere of Vrindavan during Lord Krishna's presence there. And the Lord would kill such demons as a popular daily event.
Это последнее предложение первого абзаца комментария. Когда Кришна жил во Вриндаване, положительную атмосферу тех мест постоянно нарушали многочисленные демоны, и расправа с ними превратилась для Господа в повседневную обязанность.
Any of you have any popular daily events that you really like to go to?
Есть ли у вас какие-то повседневные обязанности, которые вам нравятся, каждый день посещать?
Okay, yes, Prabhu. What's your favorite popular event?
Taking morning and hearing Srimad Bhagavatam.
Okay, morning, Srimad Bhagavatam, and evening?
Evening time.
Oh, just Bhagavatam. Just Bhagavatam. My God, let me take shelter of your lotus feet, Prabhu. Okay, really, he's figured it all out. Okay, nice. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so now one really interesting point, and this is what we're going to launch our presentation on today, is by the words yadi rochite, that's the last sentence, the cowherd boys indicate that Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram not killed the demon simply to satisfy them. Rather, they should do so only if the lords themselves found the concept appealing.
И здесь комментарий, очень интересная идея, и мы начнем с нее нашу презентацию. Она заключается в том, это предпоследнее предложение комментария, что словами «я и рочаты» пастушки указывают на то, что Кришна и Баларама могут и не убивать этих демонов, если им не хочется. Но если предложение пастушков показалось им заманчивым, то их друзья будут только рады.
So that's coming from the translation, and we'll read the translation again because it's important. So focus on this now. Oh Krishna, please get those fruits for us. Our minds are so attracted by their aroma. Dear Balaram, our desire to have those fruits is very great. If you think it is a good idea, let's go to that Tala forest.
О, Кришна, пожалуйста, достань эти плоды. Наши умы пленены их ароматом. Дорогой Баларам, мы так сильно хотим их отведать. Если вам это по душе, давайте поскорее отправимся в лес Тала.
So if you think it's a good idea, let's go to that Tala forest.
Если вам это по душе, если вы думаете, это хорошая идея, то давайте поскорее отправимся в лес Тала.
Now these pastimes are very, very instructive for us. The Lord performs these pastimes, and the gopas or the gopis, they're like exalted, liberated souls, pure devotees.
И эти игры, они содержат в себе очень много наставлений для нас, потому что Господь являет эти игры с этими преданными гопи и гопами, которые являются возвышенными, освобожденными преданными.
So it's instructive because it allows us to understand the proper way to behave as a devotee.
И эти игры показывают нам, как правильно действовать, будучи преданными.
Okay, so if you think it's a good idea, let's go to that Tala forest.
Если вы считаете, что это хорошая идея, давайте пойдем в этот лес Тала.
If you, Krishna, and Balaram think it's a good idea, let's go. I like the idea myself, but if you like it, then let's go.
И вот Кришна и Баларама, если вам нравится эта идея, давайте пойдем. Вот мне нравится, но если вам нравится, только тогда пойдем.
See, now these, the Gopas, you know, the cowherd boys, Sudama, who else, what are some other cowherd boys? Okay, give me some answers now. Wake up, guys.
Давайте проснитесь, там вот что за пастушки, имена пастушков назовите, вот с кем там Кришна гуляет.
Sudama. Anybody else? Huh? Subal. Okay, there you go. You get a piece of burfi after class. Good. Huh?
Стока Кришна.
Stoka Krishna. Okay. Forgot my hearing aids again. Okay, so let's move ahead. Okay, so you get the idea now. Everyone's awake? Okay. So now these Gopas, they have completely, they're just completely focused in love of Krishna. They're completely surrendered to Krishna. Now there's an interesting, I'm going to launch kind of an interesting way of looking at things. Now, Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Harinam Chintamani, which is basically an understanding of how to improve our japa.
И интересный момент, как посмотреть на эти вещи, описан в Харинам Чинтамани, что по сути является книгой, которую написал Бхактивинода Тхакур, о том, как улучшить свою джапу.
And it's a dialogue between two incredible personalities. Anybody know who?
И это диалог между двумя удивительными личностями. Кто-то знает между кем?
Anybody? Lord Chaitanya and Haridas Thakur.
Это Господь Чайтанья и Харидас Тхакур.
And Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote it. It's really powerful. So, everybody know what sadhu ninda means?
И Бхактивинода Тхакур написал это, очень могучая книга. Ну, вы знаете, что значит саду нинда?
No? Okay, here's a sadhu right here. He loves Srimad Bhagavatam classes because, you know, it's the most popular, it's for him, it's the most popular event of the day.
Okay. Перед нами сидит саду. И вот этот саду, ему самое любимое занятие в течение дня – это Бхагават.
So let us say that Adiraj Prabhu, this is Adiraj. Can you raise your hand? This is Adiraj, a very, amazing personality. And let's say, and your name, Prabhu?
Teja Krishna Das.
Teja Krishna Das. Teja Krishna.
Teja?
Krishna.
Krishna Das. Okay, Teja Krishna Das. All right. So let's say that Adiraj gets really mad at you, and he takes the madanga, and he smashes you on the head with it.
My head.
On your head, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Представьте, что этот преданный разозлился на Теджа Кришна Прабху и бриданга его по голове дал.
Okay, so because he's a sadhu, all right? And ninda means offense.
А нинда значит оскорбление.
Okay, so it's the most serious of all Vaishnava aparads.
И это самый серьезный из всех вайшнава аппаратов.
Okay, so Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes that, he cites from Madhya Lila, chapter 22, text 78 to 80, the 26 qualities of a devotee. Okay? Yeah, just say that part. 22, 78-40. Okay, you got it? Did you say it? We'll get to that other part later. I'm going to talk a little bit, so you got time to search for it. You finished?
Я
You translated what I said. Okay. Right, so of all of the 26 qualities, and it starts out like some really nice qualities. Oh, go ahead.
И там описывается 26 качеств преданного, и очень хорошие качества, на самом деле.
Kripalu, merciful.
Крипалу, милостивый.
Like Atmatava is he's got a lot of kripalu, very merciful. Tolerates me. Okay, then there's, you can translate it. Come on, Bubba. You gotta do your job. Okay, your service, I'm sorry. He's not paid for it. Akrita droha means non-defiant. He does whatever I tell him to do. Okay, it goes on and on. You know, there's some really amazing suchi, clean. So the most significant one, and if a devotee only has this one, he's still considered a sadhu.
Есть одно очень важное качество, наличие которого только одного этого качества делает человека саду.
And that is Krishnaika Sharanam. No, Krishnaika Sharana.
И это Кришна Эка Шарана.
Krishnaika Sharana. Okay, in the word for word, it's Krishnaika Sharana, but in the text, it's Krishnaika Sharana. So that means exclusively surrendered to Krishna.
И это Кришна Эка Шарана, в пословном переводе, это преданный исключительно Кришне.
So you got that quality. If you know, this is one out of all 26. If you don't have any of the others, if you got that one, you're a sadhu, and one should be very careful not to hit you over the head with a madanga.
И если у вас есть только одно это качество, то люди другие должны, вы уже саду, и поэтому люди должны быть очень внимательны и не бить вас ведантой по голове.
So don't worry, Adiraj, he understands now, so I'm not going to do it. Okay, so moving ahead. So that's, you know, that's a significant point. Okay, so these are pure devotees, and they've got all 26 qualities fully manifest. So someone, you know, may have this Krishnaika Sharana, but he may be a little bit mixed in his devotion. He may not be completely there on the platform of Uttama Bhakti.
Но другой преданный, он может иметь это качество Кришнаика Шарана, но он не может быть не на чистой платформе Уттама Бхакти, иметь какие-то примеси.
Let's start out with an understanding of what material consciousness is all about, and then we can contrast that with the consciousness of Uttama Bhakti or pure devotion.
Давайте попробуем сейчас посмотреть и понять, каким является материальное сознание, и на контрасте сравнить его с сознанием чистого преданного.
Okay, from 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, there's a really nice shloka.
В 16 главе Бхагавад-гиты есть одна очень хорошая шлока.
Ishvaraham aham bhogi siddhaham balavan sukhi. Okay, so you're looking for it still. I am the Lord of everything. I'm the enjoyer. I'm perfect. That's me. And I'm happy. Okay, so does anybody think like that? That's it? I knew he would do that. He's becoming infected with this American humor mentality. Hopefully we'll get him out of his mind before the end of the class. Okay, so, see, how do I, okay, got it now. Okay, so then there's another, all of you have come into India. Some of you may have flown on a 727, a Boeing 727.
27.
This is a mnemonic device. Mnemonic device, it means helps you to remember.
Это мнемоническая такая не трюк, позволяет запоминать вещи.
Okay, so the Bhagavad Gita 7:27.
Это вот Бхагавад Гита 7:27.
Okay, so now don't forget. Okay, Ichadvesha samutvena dvandva mohena bharata sarva bhutani samhoham sargayanti parantapa. Okay, O Shriyana Bharat, O conqueror of the foe, all living entities are born into delusion, overcome by the dualities of desire and hate.
О потомок Бхараты, о покоритель врагов, все живые существа, появляясь на свет, оказываются во власти иллюзорной двойственности, возникающей из желания и ненависти.
Okay, so does anybody ever feel like that? That you're like overcome by desire and hate?
Кто-то бывает чувствует себя так, что когда нас переполняет либо желание, либо отвращение к чему-либо.
No, I knew you would volunteer. Okay. All right, so that's the materially conditioned soul. He makes a huge mistake, and he comes, he misuses his free will, and he decides, hey, I don't need to serve Krishna. I don't need to do that. I can be the center of the universe. Everyone can serve me. And, I can get all of my desires fulfilled. I don't need to go through this. I'm sick of it. Boom, bloop, into the material cosmic manifestation.
И неудачливое живое существо в какой-то момент решило, что зачем мне этот Кришна, зачем мне ему служить, я хочу быть центром внимания, хочу служить себе, и исполнить все свои желания сам, и буду счастлив. И сразу же живое существо падает в этот материальный мир.
But none of you would be sitting here today if your experience in the material world is such that it actually worked.
Ну, никто бы у вас здесь не сидел, если вот этот план у всех нас сработал.
It didn't work. I tried, but it didn't work.
Я пытался, но не получилось.
Okay, so there's a really nice verse for somebody that's come into this situation. It's 11. Go ahead.
Есть очень хороший стих, который подходит к этой ситуации.
11:237. Bhayam dutiya binivesha tashad ishadi petasho vipariyo smiti tanmayato I'm getting to be an old man, so you have to forgive me. Tanmayato buddha abhajetan bhaktyayika yesham guru deva tatma. Okay, so translation. This is 11:237, but actually I'm using the translation. Oh, and I didn't put it down there. Sorry about that, Bubba. It was like a real race to put it all together. I finished my rounds, and then I raced home and couldn't get it all together in time. The translation that comes from the CC, and I don't know which number it is. Anyway, it's like Chaitanya's instruction to Rupa Goswami, but I didn't put it down. Oh my God.
Это наставление, Чайтанья Рупы Госвами цитирует этот стих, и там немножко другой перевод, но ссылку забыл.
I think that's Sadhunanda. I offended Atmatafa. Oh God, he's got to really work hard now to translate it. Okay, but anyway. Yeah, but anyway, I wanted to expand on one point in the translation from CC, but you'll be able to do that anyway. When the living entity is attracted by the material energy, which is separate from Krishna, he's overpowered by fear. Because he's separated from the Supreme Personality of Godhead by the material energy, his concept of life is reversed. In other words, instead of being the eternal servant of Krishna, he becomes Krishna's competitor.
Maybe we can do it. I'm just checking. It's quite different. Maybe we can.
Yeah, I know.
We can do afterwards. We can do sentence by sentence. I think that's what we do.
Well, it's just the one thing that's different about the role reversal.
Yeah.
That's what is like key. Okay, this is called Viparyoshmiti. To nullify this mistake, one who's actually learned in advance worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead as his spiritual master, worshipful deity and source of life. He thus worships the Lord by the process of unalloyed devotional service. Go ahead. Yeah, okay, all right. We still love you, Amitabha, don't worry.
Когда живое существо сосредотачивается на внешней, иллюзорной энергии Господа, и потом ошибочно считает себя материальным телом, оно начинает испытывать страх. Так, отвернувшись от Верховного Господа, живое существо забывает, что по своей природе оно является слугой Бога. В этом запутанном, полном страхом состоянии оно оказывается из-за иллюзорной энергии, называемой майей. Поэтому разумный человек должен с безраздельной и непоколебимой преданностью служить Господу под руководством истинного духовного учителя, которого следует считать своим божеством и самой жизнью и душой.
Okay, before I go further and give an explanation of this, I wanted to tell a little interesting experience in my devotional career.
Прежде чем я начну говорить об этом стихе, я хочу рассказать одну очень интересную историю, которая пришла со мной на моем пути преданности.
I joined on July 7th, 1977, so 7/7/77.
Я присоединился 7 июля 1977 года, то есть 7/7/77.
My lucky day.
Мой счастливый день.
So then Srila Prabhupada, he was in London, and he planned to come to America, come to New York for the Rath Yatra, and then go on to Gitanagari to establish Daivi Vanashram. You didn't get anything? Or you said a whole? Oh, he was going to go to Gitanagari. That's a farm community in Pennsylvania to establish Daivi Vanashram. So, the devotees were getting ready for him, and this was a big 11-story building in Midtown Manhattan. It was incredible. 250 devotees in there. The ecstasy was just unbelievable. So up on the 11th floor was Srila Prabhupada's quarters, and there was a whole team of devotees that were redoing them, remodeling. So some of the devotees, because when Prabhupada was coming, it was like a major event in the lives of the devotees, and some devotees were staying up practically the whole night, maybe sleeping 2-3 hours. But because they didn't want to miss the popular event of Srimad Bhagavatam class, they would come. And so the ones that were staying up on half the night or the whole night, they would stand in the back. They'd stand up so they wouldn't. But I would look around, and some of them were, one devotee, I'm pretty sure, if my memory serves me correct, actually fell over. So if I'm putting you to sleep, just stand up, for crying out loud. You didn't have to stay up half the night, redoing Prabhupada's quarters. Okay. I saw Atmatapha, he started to nod, so anyway, I just thought I'd bring it up. Okay, so this Viparyayo Smriti, this is coming from the sloka, is a role reversal. Instead of seeing oneself as Krishna's servant, one becomes Krishna's competitor. Переворот в сознании, когда живое существо вместо того, чтобы считать себя слугой Бога, начинает считать себя конкурентом Кришны. Ishvaraham aham bogi Siddhaham Balavan Sukhi. This is, I'm the controller. Shvaraham. Aham Sukhi. I'm happy.
Я контролирующий, я счастливый.
I'm so powerful.
Я такой могущественный.
I'm the center of the universe.
Я центр вселенной.
This is the mindset
И вот это вот настроение
of the materially conditioned soul.
материального.
So he's competing. I'm not going to go to the temple today. I'm just going to go and I'm going to enjoy.
Я не пойду сегодня в храм, буду наслаждаться.
You know, it's just, you know, Maya creeping in through the back door.
И вот эта майя заходит через заднюю дверь.
Okay, so let's move ahead. So at the end, the last sentence, at least in this translation, to nullify this mistake, you know, the mistake of opting out of being Krishna's servant,
Чтобы как бы обнулить, исправить эту ошибку, когда мы решили перестать быть преданным Кришне.
to nullify this mistake, one who is actually learned and advanced
Тот, кто учен и продвинут,
worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead as his spiritual master, worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead as his spiritual master,
он поклоняется верховной личности Бога как своему духовному учителю,
worshipable deity,
почитает божеству
and source of life.
и источнику жизни.
He thus worships the Lord by the process of unalloyed devotional service.
Поэтому он поклоняется Господу с помощью процесса беспримесной преданности.
One of the reasons that I like this translation because Prabhupada did it.
И почему мне нравится эта версия перевода, потому что это перевод Прабхупады.
And it's loaded with Shakti. It's loaded.
Оно заряжено его шакти.
Okay, so this is the way to get out of this mess that I'm in, that I'm thinking myself to be the supreme controller, the enjoyer, that I'm happy, that I'm powerful. I'm the greatest. There was one, okay, go ahead.
И вот это способ, как мы можем выйти из этой ужасной ситуации, когда мы считаем, что я наслаждающийся, я счастливый, я такой могучий.
There was one famous boxer.
Был там один известный боксер,
His name was Cassius Clay.
его Кассиус Клей зовут.
He's from America. He doesn't look like it, but he is.
Из Америки, он не выглядит, что он из Америки, но он из Америки.
This is Bhakta Moses, okay? Bhakta Moses, yeah. And he'll tell you the Ten Commandments in case you need to know. Boy, I just woke up on the funny side of bed this morning. You have to forgive me.
Юмор проснулся.
Okay, so let's see, what were we talking about before I got off on the Bhakta Moses tangent? Oh, Cassius Clay, yeah. Now, he was a world heavyweight champion. He had these huge arms.
Он был чемпионом по тяжелому весу.
And he would punch people out, and they would just be bloody messes at the end of the fight. And they usually ended up on the floor. He knocked them out.
Он просто там людей превращал там в кровавое месиво, и обычно все заканчивалось нокаутом.
And then at the end, Cassius Clay would go, I am the greatest!
И в конце он кричал,
I am the greatest!
я самый великий.
You know, but when he got to be older, he developed Parkinson's disease.
Но когда состарился, он заболел этой болезнью Паркинсона.
I guess I didn't look on Google because it was something that just occurred to me. But I don't imagine he's still living because that was going on, 20 years ago that he had Parkinson's disease.
И я даже не уверен, я даже не проверил, он может уже и не живой, потому что это было 20 лет назад.
He left? Okay, man. Well, it happens to everybody, They're thinking, I am the greatest, but then bam. So wake up, we've got to do our business. So what the prescription is to overcome this material disease, this material contamination of thinking I'm the center of the universe, I am the greatest, I'm happy, I'm the controller, I'm perfect, I'm powerful. Oh my God, I think I'm God.
И мы, на самом деле, эти очень ужасные состояния, мы должны получить лекарство от этого, что мы думаем, я могущественный, я самый сильный, самый лучший от центра Вселенной. И похоже, Бог.
If I continue to practice jnana, in the Mayavad tradition, I can become God.
А я если буду такой гьян, то если Майявада, то я стану Богом.
Okay, so the formula, how we get out of this. Hey, does anybody have an extra half hour that they could spare today? We're taking donations in case you have an extra half hour that you'd like to donate. Okay, so this brings up, the process of pure devotional service. Does everybody fully understand what the process is? Does everybody understand what pure devotional service is? Let's start with that.
Это приводит нас к тому, что процессом является чистое преданное служение. Но хочу вас спросить, все ли четко понимают, что такое процесс чистого преданного служения?
Can someone recite the shloka for me that defines pure devotional service from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu that's quoted by Srila Prabhupada in the Chaitanya Charitamrita?
Кто-то может процитировать шлоку из Бхакти Расамрита Синдху, который приводит Шрила Прабхупада в Чайтанья Чаритамрите по описанию чистого преданного служения?
If you can do it, I'm going to take you right to the Mahaprasadam stand and buy you 17 pieces of burfi.
17? 717 or 70?
Yeah, if you get the answer right, I'm going to take you to the Mahaprasadam stand and buy you 17 pieces of burfi. Okay?
Just checking, it's 17 or 70?
17.
Если вы правильно ответили, то после лекции идем в Махапрасад и вам купят 17 бурфи.
Anybody know? Do you know it? What do you say?
Аня открыла шташуньям. Аня открыла шташуньям, he's saying.
Well, okay, I hope I got enough money on me.
Я надеюсь, денег с собой достаточно взял.
But that's the first line. Anyabilashita sunyam.
Это первое.
Okay, forget it. You don't get the burfi, Baba. What's that?
He doesn't want to break your wallet.
They want to break my wallet. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Okay, so this is the foundational verse in the Nectar Devotion.
Это основной стих Нектаря преданности.
I mean, some very senior sannyasi gurus say that this is the Paribhasa Sutra of the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu.
И многие саньяси гуру, они говорят, что это Парибхаса Сутра Бхакти Расамрита Синдху.
However, Gopi Purandan Prabhu, who had the service of doing the translation of after Srila Prabhupada left and putting the purports together, was giving a Bhagavatam class in Vrindavan.
Но его милость Гопи Паранадхана Прабху, который его служение было переводы, после того, как Шрила Прабхупада ушел, и он компилировал переводы, комментарии, и он давал лекцию во Вриндаване.
My guess it was probably about 1993 or 1994. And I was in the class, and he brought up a point that triggered me to ask a question about this verse.
И он нам что-то говорил, и это меня немножко зацепило, и я задал вопрос как раз по поводу этого стиха.
So based upon what I'd heard from the senior devotees, at that time it was just one senior devotee, senior Vaishnava guru, that this was I cited in the Paribhasa Sutra of the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and then it went on like that. And then he immediately, as soon as I finished my question, I don't remember what the question was, he said, "This is not the Paribhasa Sutra. The acharyas do not say this."
И я как раз слышал в этот момент, что этот стих является Парибхаса Сутрой, я слышал от одного старшего преданного, саньяси гуру. Я когда задал этот вопрос, Гопи Паранадхана Прабху сразу сказал: нет, это не Парибхаса Сутра, никто из ачарьев этого не говорил.
Okay, for 27 pieces of burfi, does anybody know what the Paribhasa Sutra is for the Srimad Bhagavatam?
А вы знаете, какая Парибхаса Сутра для Шримад Бхагаватам? Приз 27 будет.
We're going to give you one last chance.
She said burfi first.
Huh?
Burfi first.
Burfi first. Okay, he's thinking that maybe I'm not going to honor my commitments here. Okay. Ete chamsa kalapumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakalam Lokam Hridayanti Yuge Yuge. Okay, that's 1:3:28, I think. So basically, the point is that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay?
Суть этого стиха состоит в том, что Кришна является верховной личностью Бога.
Do you want to read the whole translation for them? That's okay. That's the main point. Okay? And the whole Bhagavatam is based upon, just kind of evolves from this Paribhasa Sutra. Okay? I definitely got to take birth in Russia next time so I can speak Russian. And get to sing all the wonderful Russian Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. Okay, so Anyabilashita Sunyam Gyanakarmadhyanavitam Anukulyena Krishnanu Shiladam Bhaktiruttama. So it's, Bhanuswami, he says, not the Paribhasa Sutra. I said, look, these two devotees say this, Gopi Prandan said that. Bhanuswami is probably the most learned, current Vaishnava. He's translated unbelievable numbers of books, including Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu.
И я спросил этот вопрос у Бханусвами, потому что сказал, вот один преданный говорит это, а Рупи Раманхана говорит по-другому, и тоже прав, потому что Бханусвами, он, наверное, является одним из самых ученых Вайшнавов Искон, и он столько книг перевел, столько книг написал.
He said that the Acharyas do not say that this is the Paribhasa Sutra.
И он сказал, что Ачарьи не говорят, что это Парибхаса Сутра.
However, there are many, many definitions that are in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and they all are based upon this original definition of pure devotional service, Anyabilashita Sunyam.
Но в то же самое время в Нектаре преданности есть очень много других определений чистого преданного служения, и все ссылаются на это основное определение.
Okay, so everyone's sitting on the edge of their seat, waiting to find out what this verse is all about.
Вот вы сейчас сидите и волнуетесь, о чем вообще этот стих.
Oh, thank you, bro. Everybody in complete anxiety about what this verse is all about? Yeah? You're in anxiety? Okay, because this is the key. When you understand, I tell you what, when I learned this verse, I'd been a devotee, 11 and a half years. This is, go ahead.
И это очень важный стих, потому что я выучил этот стих, когда уже 12,5 лет занимался преданным служением.
And I attended. At that time, I was a National Sankirtan leader in America. I had the service of getting book distribution going again because it had completely stopped.
Я занимался, был главным руководителем Санкиртана и следил за тем, чтобы распространение книг продолжалось.
And I attended the second session they'd ever had. The second, this was in their second year of the VIH, the Vrindavan Institute for Higher Education.
И я начал учиться на
VIH, Vrindavan Institute for Higher Education.
Вриндаванском институте вайшнавского образования.
You know what the MI stands for, right? Okay, good boy. When we started the MI, it was first MIHE, then we dropped the HE. So Giriraj Swami was giving a class on the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. It wasn't just a class, it was a course. And basically what he was doing, he was taking the verses that are in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, or from the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, that Krishnadas Kaviraj incorporated in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. And this one verse, not the Paribhasa Sutra, he actually said it too. I hope that wasn't Sadhunanda. Don't translate it. Okay.
И вот там тоже как раз был этот стих.
But this definition of pure devotional service is like monumental, how it impacted my life.
И вот это определение чистого преданного служения, оно очень сильно повлияло на жизнь.
Okay, so I'm not going to hold you in suspense anymore. I'm going to give you the translation, okay?
Я вот сейчас просто прочитаю.
I don't want anybody like having a nervous breakdown before the end of the class. You're allowed to go out of your minds at the end of the class, but not during the class, okay? Because we got a psychiatrist and he, anyway, don't worry. Okay, better not translate that, okay? Okay, Janmastami, get serious, will you? When first-class devotional service develops, one must be devoid of all material desires, knowledge obtained by monistic philosophy, and fruit of action. The devotee must constantly serve Krishna favorably as Krishna desires.
Where this translation is from?
That's Madhya 19.67. Come on, it's up at the top, right by the...
Oh, just read.
Yeah, I'm at top. He kind of like had... Anyway, I better not criticize him.
I just don't want to mistranslate it.
Yeah, you better not. This is the big one. If you learn this sloka, I'm telling you, it's like unbelievable how your life will, and actually try to understand it, unbelievable how your life will be transformed. I'll tell you what happened to me way back in 1990. No, when was it? No, 1990. It was January 1990. I just came back from a huge Christmas marathon in New York City. I'm falling asleep.
Yeah.
You can find it?
I don't know.
It's in Madhya 19.67. It's right at the top, right by the, the Anyabhilasha, right by the Sanskrit there. Okay, so if anybody has to go, you're okay to go, but next time I see you, I'll probably end up beating you up.
Is it in commentary?
No. Oh, maybe it is in the commentary. Yeah, it's probably in the...
1927, yeah?
19.67.
67.
No, it's not a commentary, not an important verse like that. I mean, it's throughout the Bhagavatam, it's throughout Prabhupada's books, but here, Krishnadas Kaviraj Swami allocated...
Somehow I have, I don't know, I have maybe wrong.
I did 1967? Maybe I made a mistake and don't have the right one. Okay.
Okay, let's
All right, so just translate it then. Go ahead, do your best you can from the English.
Первоклассное преданное служение развивается, когда человек должен освободиться от всех материальных желаний, знания о монистической философии и деятельности ради плодов. Преданный должен постоянно служить Кришне благоприятным образом, так, как Кришна этого хочет.
Okay. Did he do a good job? Anybody? No? Yeah. He said, here's our scholar back here. He said you did a really good job. Okay, so here's, in the Anukulyena Krishnanu, so Krishna, let's see. So Anu means following or constantly.
Anu это значит следовать или постоянно.
Anushilana, and behavior. Okay, so. Okay, let me just say. Now this, I'm compressing a 3-hour class into 5 minutes.
Я сейчас пытаюсь 4-часовую лекцию запихнуть в 5 минут.
So bear with me.
Поэтому держитесь.
This is coming from, I taught Nectar Devotion, I think it was 14 times. But this, I forgot. I forgot to tell you what happened to me when I went through this experience in Vrindavan. This was in 1990, and I've been going to Vrindavan since 81.
И это произошло со мной после изучения этого стиха, потому что я проходил это в 90-х годах, а я в Вриндаван уже приезжал с 80 года.
And usually I went as a tourist. Oh, look at this. Here's Radhakund. Oh, very interesting.
Я приезжал уже как турист. О, Радхакунда, очень интересно.
Here's Imali Tala. Oh, I know. That's great. You know, oh, here's the Jamuna.
Имлитала, о, здесь Ямуна.
Okay, but when I took this course, the Dham just opened up. It revealed itself to me in a very powerful way. I was in so much bliss.
А я когда прошел этот курс, то Дhamma просто открылась мне. Это очень удивительный опыт.
I finally understood what's considered probably the most important verse, in our Shastras.
Я понял, что это, похоже, один из самых важных стихов во всех наших шастрах.
Maybe I should take that back. It would be in strong competition with 1.3.28, the Paribhasha Sutra of Bhagavatam.
Это, конечно, они эти два стиха соревнуются, Парибхасутра Бхагаватам и этот стих.
But they're closely connected.
Но они очень близко связаны.
So what happened to me was that when I came back, because that was my service, being a Sankirtan leader.
И что произошло со мной, я вернулся, и мое служение было будучи главой Санкиртаны.
It increased my service tremendously.
Это улучшило, усилило мое служение очень сильно.
One is that I was much more effective in inspiring the other Sankirtan devotees.
Я был более эффективен, и мне было легче вдохновлять других преданных Санкиртаны.
And one of the ways that I would be a Sankirtan leader is that I would, gosh, I hate to talk about myself. I'm such a fool, but the way I would do it was that I would distribute more books than those on my party.
И идея то, что мне очень нравится говорить про себя, я такой глупец, но я предлагал других, что я распространял книг больше, чем другие.
Not in a negative, I beat you kind of mood.
Не в таком настроении, о, смотрите, я тебя победил, не в таком настроении.
But that's what works.
Но это то, что работает.
Leadership by example, and this is demonstrated by the Pandavas, in the Battle of Kurukshetra.
И лидерство, это значит показывать пример, это было показано Пандавами на горе Курукшетра.
So what happened when I got back to America? I was completely amazed because my own results increased 30 to 40%.
И когда я вернулся в Америку, я был поражен, потому что мои результаты увеличились на 30 или 40%.
So naturally, went back the next year.
И естественно, на следующий год вернулся.
And I went back the next year.
И на следующий год.
It became a regular for me.
И это стало моей регулярной практикой.
And then when I became temple president of a temple that had fallen apart,
И когда я стал президентом храма, который разваливался на части,
because the Zonacharya had fallen down and most of the devotees in the temple were his disciples.
Потому что зональный ачарья упал, а большинство прихожан, они были его учениками.
The GBC wanted me to be the temple president, but I did it I had one condition.
GBC попросили меня стать президентом храма, но у меня было одно условие.
That every Kartik I could go to Vrindavan and study.
Я согласен, только если каждую карту я смогу ездить во Вриндаван и учиться.
So he agreed, and I did it. Anyway, there's another whole story on that one, but I better watch out because the time. You've loaned me half an hour, most of you, I hope. But I'll pay back in the next class, and I'll only give it a half-hour class, okay? Okay, so one of the points, is that, okay, so anukulyena, it means that one does this, anukulyena means to please Krishna. So anu can mean following. Kulyena. Anyway, I won't go into that detail. Okay, so I got to narrow it down a little bit. So how do we know that what are the kind of the parameters of pleasing Krishna? What are the boundaries that we have to stay within?
Каковы параметры, каковы границы,
Like Kamsa, when he was fighting with Krishna, Krishna got great pleasure from it.
И, например, Камса, когда дрался с Кришной, Кришна от этого испытывал великую радость.
But what was Kamsa's attitude?
Но какое было настроение Камсы?
Did he have the attitude of the gopas or the gopis?
Было ли у него настроение гопи или гопов?
No. He wanted to kill Krishna.
Хотел убить Кришну.
Okay, so it's not pure devotional service.
Это не чистая преданность.
Okay? So two things have to be there. The devotee's attitude should be favorable,
И две вещи должны быть. Первое, это настроение должно быть благоприятное.
and Krishna should get pleasure from it.
И Кришна должен от этого радоваться.
So now let's bring this around to today's verse, where the gopas say, okay, oh Krishna, please get those fruits for us. Our minds are so attracted by their aroma. Dear Balaram, our desire is to have those fruits is very great. If you think it's a good idea, let's go to that Tala forest.
И сейчас свяжем это с сегодняшним стихом. О Кришна, пожалуйста, достань нам эти плоды. Наши умы пленены их ароматом. Дорогой Баларам, мы так сильно хотим их отведать. Если вам это по душе, давайте поскорее отправимся в лес Тала.
So that's the point. Will Krishna be pleased? Will he get pleasure from this? This is what we have to understand.
Это момент, что мы о чем мы должны думать. Будет ли Кришна этим доволен? Мы должны это понять.
In order to practice pure devotional service.
Заниматься чистым служением. Это требуется.
So I'm going to restrict myself. I'm not going to give you another 3-hour class. Okay, we'll keep it, in this one aspect.
Я сейчас вот сдерживаю себя, чтобы не дать лекцию на 3 часа. То есть мы сейчас поговорим об этом одном аспекте.
Of the definition of pure devotional service, that it should be pleasing to Krishna, and our desire is to please Krishna.
И наше желание, наш мотив должен быть удовлетворить Кришну.
Okay, so this is what the gopis. If you like the idea,
И это то, что сказали гопы. Они говорят, если вам нравится,
then let's go.
то давайте пойдем.
So they're checking in to make sure that Krishna really wants to do it. Krishna and Balaram really want to do it.
Пытаются убедиться, но на самом деле Кришна и Баларам хотят это сделать.
How do we apply that in our devotional service?
А как мы можем это применить в нашем преданном служении?
Well, we have our gurus.
У нас есть гуру.
We may have, our guru may be not so easy. Let's put it in a context that's really appropriate.
Давайте сейчас контекст зададим, это будет очень уместно.
If we're about to make a major change in our lives,
Если мы собираемся какие-то сильные изменения в жизни претворить,
I was asked by the GBC in North or Southeast America to do something similar to the service I did in starting the Mayapur Institute, do that in Alachua, Florida.
И меня в GBC попросили в Алаче, во Флориде, заняться служением, похожим, что я сделал здесь, когда мы начали Mayapurский институт.
Alachua is the largest devotee community outside of Mayapur in the world.
Алаче — это самое большое сообщество преданных за пределами Mayapura.
So I did it. I worked really hard. I think it was like 2.5, maybe 3 years.
И мы делали это там 2 или 3 года, и было очень сложно.
And then I had some very, very, striking health challenges that made me think, hey, this is too much for an old man.
И у меня тогда очень сложности со здоровьем возникли, и они заставили меня задуматься, что, наверное, это для старого человека уже слишком много.
So what I did, rather than just say, okay, I quit, that's it, bye-bye, I consulted with the GBC, told them what I was going through.
И прежде чем просто сказать, я не сделал так, ну все, до свидания, я поехал, я попросился к GBC и сказал, вот у меня сейчас такая ситуация.
And I consulted with one senior devotee, Shesha Prabhu. He's also GBC, and
Я консультировался с Шешей Прабhu, он тоже старший преданный, также GBC.
He's a minister.
Старше меня.
He's a minister of education in the GBC.
Министр образования GBC.
And we'd been very close for, many years.
Мы были очень близки на протяжении многих лет.
And he functioned more or less as my Shiksha Guru. He functioned more or less as my Shiksha Guru.
И он действует так, по большей части, как Шикша Гуру.
He just wants to, this bird wants to hear Bhagavatam, you know, he's exalted personality. Actually, you know, these living entities in the Holy Dham, they're not ordinary. Like, you know, the dogs in Vrindavan, there's a reference, I don't have it in the top of my head, but the dogs in Vrindavan, they were devotees, but no. Actually, what happened? They were human beings living in Vrindavan, and they committed offense.
И что собаки Вриндавана, у меня нет ссылки, что это живые существа, которые жили в Вриндаване, люди, но они совершили оскорбление.
More than likely Sadhu Ninda. Okay, you're a dog.
И потом раз, ты уже собака.
Woohoo! Okay, see? Responding. Woo! Okay. So I didn't really tuned in. Okay. All right, so okay, so where were we?
Making the changes, you need to consult with somebody.
Yeah. So you gotta, you know, tune. Coming from Shastra, here's a Shastric reference that helps me make the decision. Consult directly with my guru. Consult with my Shiksha Guru. Consult with a senior devotee to get their feedback if this is something that's really going to be pleasing to Krishna. I mean, the materially conditioned person, or maybe the materially conditioned devotee would say, well, I'd really like to do this, so I'm going to do it, and, you know, it'll be really fun, and you know. All right, Prabhu, I owe you like 20 minutes. I'm really sorry. Please forgive.
Next class.
Next class? Yeah, okay, I'll give it to you next class, right? All right, so, but he speaks pretty good English. Okay, so let's move ahead. We got to move really fast now because I'm going to be in so much. I'll be such a debtor. Okay, okay. So let's see. Let's move. Okay. So how many of you are practicing pure devotional service now? Please raise your hand in a humble mood. How many of you are practicing pure devotional service now? Please raise your hand. She said, yeah?
She's asking, if we're attending Bhagavatam, it means we're practicing.
Okay, but then, you know, anushilanam also means continuous. You got to keep doing it throughout the day. Okay, so anybody? Okay, so if you don't feel like you're doing it, and you don't feel, oh man, how can I'm not a pure devotee? Come on, give me a... So here's the formula. This is how you can begin. Anyway, when it's completely free of all material desires, okay, so I got some material desires left. So many issues are blocking me from practicing pure devotional service. Okay. Oh God, I didn't put the verse number. Oh no, I know what it is. It's 11.20.2728. You got it? 11:20.2728.
11:27:28.
Okay. So I'm not going to go into the Sanskrit. We'll just go right into the translation. We don't want anybody to starve to death and miss their breakfast. Having awakened faith in the narrations, 11:20.27. Okay, having awakened faith in the narrations of my glories, being disgusted with all material activities, knowing that all sense gratification leads to misery, but still being unable to renounce all sense enjoyment, my devotee should remain happy and worship me with great faith and conviction, even though he is sometimes engaged in sense gratification, in sense enjoyment. My devotee knows that all sense gratification leads to a miserable result, and he sincerely repents such activities.
Это Шримад Бхагаватам 11:20 и стихи 27-28. Уверовав в повествование, прославляющее меня, испытывая отвращение к любой материальной деятельности, понимая, что все чувственные наслаждения ведут к страданию, хотя не находя в себе сил отказаться от всех удовольствий, мой преданный должен, оставаясь в счастливом расположении духа, с великой верой и убежденностью поклониться мне. Хотя иногда такой человек предается чувственным наслаждениям, он знает, что все мирские удовольствия приводят к страданиям, и потому искренне раскаивается в таких поступках.
Okay, we're getting to the point in the class now where I'm expecting all of you to go out of your minds.
И вот теперь мы подходим к тому моменту, когда я ожидаю, что вы сойдете с ума.
Okay, so the materially conditioned mind is thinking, oh, I like that. That looks really good. Oh, that woman is so beautiful. Or that man is so handsome. Or this.
Он постоянно думает, о, вот это очень вкусно, а вот эта женщина очень красивая, или этот мужчина очень привлекательный.
So the material mind is trying to pull us into sense gratification.
И материальный ум, он постоянно думает о чувствах удовольствия.
Okay, so go out of the mind and into the heart.
Ну, а нужно сойти с ума и прийти в сердце.
We can have this mood. Krishna, please engage me in your service. Please.
We did not, or
Huh?
I missed the word. We did not have that mood, or
We should have the mood. We can have this mood. Please, Krishna, engage me in your service.
у нас должно быть это настроение. Кришна, пожалуйста, займи меня в служении тебе.
I want to be with you. Please accept me.
Я хочу быть с тобой, пожалуйста, прими меня.
And at the same time, oh man, I fell into sense gratification. Please forgive me. You know, but you're not thinking it, you're feeling it from the core of your heart. So you're out of your mind and you're into your heart.
И в то же самое время мы думаем, ой, я весь попал в жертву, чувствуем удовольствие, Кришна, прости меня. Но это мы не думаем об этом, но мы чувствуем это своим сердцем.
Okay, everybody got it?
Все понимаем?
Okay, now I compressed an awful lot into a very short period there. Oh, Prabhu, before you go, don't leave yet. He's leaving? Oh, no, he's not leaving. Okay. All right. Okay, so this brings up, okay, so there's the number one way that we can become qualified to practice pure devotional service is, guess what?
Первое, что нам нужно для того, чтобы быть квалифицированы, чтобы совершать чистое преданное служение, угадайте, что это?
I'll give you a hint. We're in the age of Kali Yuga.
Что работает в Кали-югу?
Harinama eva kevalam kalo nasteva gatyaranyata. There's no other way.
Нет другого пути.
Okay. I thought you were going to give the translation. No? Okay. Okay, so in the age of Kali, there's no other way than the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. You can't. But in order to chant it properly, one has to be supported. That chanting has to be supported. Now, the holy name is Krishna himself. Namachintamani Krishnas Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purnashuddha Nityamukto Binatvam Namanamino. Krishna and Krishna's name are non-different. What else is non-different than Krishna that descends in Kali Yuga? Anybody know?
Кто еще знает, что еще не отлично от Кришны в эту Кали-югу?
I think this one's worth about 37 pieces of birth.
Это 37 высоков Гурфи.
That's a tough one.
Это сложно.
Huh? Say again? It's a good one, but Archa Vigraha was also there in Dwapara Yuga. That was the primary religious activity at that time.
Хороший ответ. Но Виграха была в Двапара-юге, главной формой религии.
37 Gurfis.
Huh?
37 Gurfis.
What do you say?
37 Gurfis.
This is the ответ?
Да.
He's saying that the Gurfis, 37 Gurfis is the...
To get the right answer.
No. He's saying that this is the answer.
What's the answer? What is it?
You ask what is the form? He said the form is, this is the Krishna.
Okay.
37 Gurfis.
Okay, so if I get it right, then I get 37 verses? No. Okay.
It means that this, what is that thing that's as powerful as? So this is 37.
Yeah, that's the question. It's also Krishna's come in Kali Yuga. It comes as the holy name, and it comes also...
He's saying 37 Gurfis. In 37 Gurfis. Like Gurfis, this is the thing that...
Oh, it comes as Prashad. They had Prashadam before Kali Yuga. Okay, no, sorry. Nah. All right, so... Nobody? Oh, man. Oh, okay, you got it, Bubba. Okay, we had to go to that would cost me about 500 rupees, I think. That's worth it. He's a good guy, He deserves it. Okay, so, Idam Bhagavatam Nama. Okay, what's the next line? Puranam Brahma Samitam Uttama Shloka Charitam Chakara Bhagavan Rishi Nishreya Shaya Lokasha. Let's see. What's the last line? Danyam. That's right. Danyam Swastyayanam Mahat. But you'll see what it's like when you get to be 71 years old. Okay, this is 1340. The Srimad Bhagavatam is a literary incarnation of God. It's compiled by Srila Vyasadeva, the incarnation of God. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people, and is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect.
Это 1.3.40 Шримад Бхагаватам. Этот Шримад Бхагаватам является литературным воплощением Бога. Он составлен Шрилой Вьясадевой, воплощением Бога. Его цель – нести высшее благо всем людям. Он совершенен и приносит удачу и блаженство.
So then, and here's a little bit more. Krishna Swadamo Pagate is 43. Keep going. Krishna Swadamo Pagate Dharma Ganadi Saha Kalo Nashta Dushamesha Paranarko Dinodita. The Srimad Bhagavatam is as brilliant as the sun, and has arisen just at the departure of Lord Krishna for his own abode, accompanied by knowledge and religion. Persons who've lost their vision due to the dense darkness of ignorance in this age of Kali shall get light from this Purana.
Это дальше, там 43 стих. Эта Бхагавата Пурана сияет словно солнце. Она взошла сразу же после того, как Господь Кришна, сопровождаемый религией, знанием и прочим, удалится в свою обитель. Эта Пурана принесет свет людям, утрачивающим способность видеть непроглядные тьме и невежества века Кали.
So the one point is that Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Harinam Chintamani says, without sufficient sambandha jnana, one cannot become free from offenses to the holy name.
И суть в том, о чем говорит Бхактивinoda Тхакур в Харинама Чинтамани, то, что если человек не обладает достаточным пониманием самбандха гьяна, он не сможет избавиться от оскорблений при воспевании святого имени.
The Gopas, they had Krishnaika Sharan. They were completely surrendered to Krishna. When we have Sambandha Gyan, when we understand Krishna Tattva, when we understand who Krishna is,
И когда мы поймем Самбаду, Кришна Тату, кем является Кришна,
when we understand Jiva Tattva, who we are,
когда мы поймем Джива Тату, кем мы являемся,
when we understand Krishna's Bahiranga Shakti, his material energy,
когда мы поймем Кришну Бахиранга Шакти, его материальную энергию,
then we can fully surrender to him.
тогда мы сможем полностью предаться ему.
I'm Krishna's tiny part and parcel. He's my Lord. He's my master.
Я вечная частичка Кришны, он мой господин, он мой повелитель.
I will do anything that he wants me to do.
Я буду делать все, что он хочет, чтобы я сделал.
And that enables us to chant from the heart with feeling, not external mechanical process.
И это дает возможность повторять из сердца, а не каким-то внешним механическим процессом.
Okay? Any questions, comments, chastisements? Don't leave yet, because there's one last thing.
Там есть последний момент.
One last thing before you go. Hold on. Hold on 1 second, Prabhu. Just 1 second. And this will really empower you to chant from your heart.
Это поможет вам читать из сердца.
This is Russian. I only got one on me. And these are English.
А это в английском.
So whatever you do, don't leave without one of these. Okay?
Не уходите без этого.
Okay?
Donation?
I owe you a few pieces of burfi, probably. You know, so you can give a donation if you want, but it has to be over 7 lakh rupees. Okay?
Если пожертвовать, то только больше 7 лаков принимается.
Everybody else paid for it, but you're special. Okay.
Всем остальным заплатить придется, но вы особенные.
Okay, question, comments, chastisements, reflections.
Какой-то опыт размышлений.
Anybody? You're all fully surrendered now?
Вы все полностью предались.
You're all pure devotees?
Чистые преданные.
Okay, so, you know, don't leave this room until you, and remember, 1.20.27-28. If you're not, that's 1.20.27-28. This is the beginning of pure devotional service. That move. Advancement in Krishna consciousness. This is coming from the introduction, the preface of Nectar of Instruction. Advancement in Krishna consciousness is dependent upon the attitude of the practitioner. Okay? So with that mood, you can cry to the holy name. And if you can't cry to the holy name, then cry that you can't cry to the holy name. And if you can't cry that you can't cry that you can't cry, then some other cry to the holy name.
То есть с этим настроением можем плакать по святому имени. Если мы не можем плакать по святому имени, мы можем плакать потому что мы не плачем по святому имени. Если мы можем не плакать, потому что мы не плачем по святому имени, мы можем плакать для того, чтобы плакать по святому имени. Таким образом, плакать по святому имени.
Okay. That's coming from Satchirup Maharaj's Japa Reform Notebook. That was the first Japa book in the movement. Okay, anybody want to throw any rotten tomatoes at me for keeping you here for so long? Okay. Any points? Any questions, comments? You're welcome to leave. If you want to stay and ask me questions or throw the tomatoes at me, you're welcome to. Yes, Prabhu?
What was the last verse?
1.20. No, I'm sorry, 11. I'm sorry, 11.20. 27-28. I think I said 1. Yeah, 11. Okay, gosh. Okay, can we go now? Is it all right if I stop speaking? It's okay. All right, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Aqui? Sangue,